Hey guys, Erie is here and welcome along to another video. So the new FIA seasons have been announced, and during the off season I've taken the opportunity to try and work on improving my driver rating through the dailies. And now this is the last week to try and improve as the FIAs are starting imminently, and I'm optimistic about my chances. I really like this combo. Group 2 is my favourite class, as many of you know, and where I feel I'm quickest. And the Red Bull Ring I think is a great track and a great fit for this class. So I went into the dailies for the final time, going for one last push to see how high a DR I can achieve and go into the new FIAs with. Now the races I chose to share with you in this one are a couple of good ones from the Monday night slots, which everyone should know by now are the best and most competitive races of the entire week. And also make sure to stick around until the very end, where I'll be revealing which manufacturer I'll be going with for the new upcoming FIA Manufacturer Series. You join me here in the pre-race practice lobby, warming up before we go in for our first race. But before we get into that, as always, just going to take a couple of moments to remind you to like the video if you like it, and make sure, this is very important, remember, to make sure that you go down and hit that subscribe button to the channel if you haven't already. And after being in the Super Formulas last time out, we're using the Fanatec CSL McLaren GT3 rim today. No real reason why I'm using this one today other than it's up there with my favourite wheels and wanted to just give it a run out. By the way, if you want to know what I use, links to all my stuff as always is in the description down below. And finally, with the FIAs coming up, let me know in the comments what manufacturer you're going to go with for this FIA season. There have been a load of bot changes recently that has improved manufacturers you wouldn't normally consider, and also some of the regular favourites have now been nerfed. So guys, let me know what manufacturer you're considering and why. I want to hear who you're going with for this season. Okay, so as I say, you join me in the pre-race practice lobby warming up before we go in for our first race. I like to take the full 15 minutes to warm up and fine tune before I go into races. It allows me to refresh myself with where I can and can't push, and more importantly, where the limits are. And having put in a 1 minute 21.016, I felt I had more in me, and with a few minutes left I improved, getting into the 1 minute 20s with a 1 minute 20.920, which was just slightly off the top 10 times at that point of filming, but I was happy with that and went into the race itself. So here's the lobby then for the first race that we're going to be partaking in this evening, and I'm in 11th place, which shows quite how good this lobby is. I mean, I thought I did a fast time, but compared to these guys, apparently not. So we're starting in 11th. You can see Dilster up ahead in 10th. Now I want to hang with this guy. He is mega fast, a regular top split driver, so it's a really good barometer and sort of measuring stick, yardstick, to see how we compare against him. So coming out of turn number 1, got it stopped. It's always quite tricky to get it stopped, especially on cold tyres, and we're making our way up to turn number 2. So I was quite surprised at this point that as we come down into turn number 2 that he wasn't getting away. So what we're going to do here, he got a little bit of wheel spin there coming out of turn number 2. We're right in his slipstream now. He's going to then feel that he needs to go defensive, so I'm going to try it down the outside into here, turn number 3, to try the cutback. Now we do cut back here, I get on the power nice and early, a little bit of oversteer there, he's getting it as well as we get the power down. I'm going to get alongside, but unfortunately it's going to be the outside here for turn number 4. So we almost got it. It's a really good thing that we're up with this guy. You know, as I say, he's mega quick, regular top strip driver, and I really want to prove a point by trying to overtake him. So we get another good run here. I'm going to show myself into the penultimate corner, but it isn't quite on. Massive slide from him there, but we're going to hang on and wait to fight another day. There's some real great clean racing here. That's what it's so good about a Monday night. You just seem to get clean racing, especially near the sharp end of the splits. So as we come into lap number 2 here, the yellows are out, and we're going to see up ahead that somebody has had an issue. So it's Rima there, who was actually the best, well, the driver with the best time in the whole EMEA region. So I appreciate he's made a mistake, but to be ahead of him is quite a good thing as well. But expect him to be coming back through the field later on. And after the concertina effect here at turn number 2, we are now alongside, well, just behind and soon to be alongside Guildford once again. So just like we did last time, we're going to try it down the outside and the old switchback. He takes it a lot tighter this time. I just recognise it and try and get the power down, and I'm a little bit too eager and get a boatload of oversteer. Managed to hold it though, which is a positive thing of course, and I just need to find really a safe place to get past. I could have chucked it in there, but you know, that's not my style, and we're going to remain behind him for another lap. And as we cross the line, start lap number 3, we're going to get real close into turn number 1. Too close actually, to be quite honest. I have to brake more than I should. I can't get on the power either as early as I need to. So what that's going to do is hamper my exit and give him a bit of a breather for now anyway. And whilst we try and get back behind him for another attack, let's introduce the race here. As mentioned, of course, this is Daily Race C. We're at the Red Bull Ring, as you can see, in the Group 2 cars. We've got 13 laps here. Softs and mediums are available and both are required. And what this means is it opens up a bunch of strategies. And for me, I'm going to go with the one that is the softs to start. And we're going to run on those until they start falling off and then change to the hards for the remainder of the race. There's no fuel needed in this one. We have more than enough, so it's all about these tyres. And that's probably why you saw everybody, well, it's definitely why you saw everyone revving the hell out of the car, trying to burn off fuel at the very start of the race. Up ahead, we're going to see that JJ here got a bit of a wiggle on, and that means that he cut the course and he got a penalty. And that's not going to be all for him. Coming into the final corner here, he's going to go wide, which is going to allow Guildford up the inside, and then we're just going to follow him through. So as we cross the line to start lap number 4, we are in 9th place now. Unlike the previous lap, we're going to take it very easy into turn number 1. We need to get a good run out all the way up the hill. And we actually get a good run on him out of turn number 2 as well. We've been here before, and I think you're going to know what happens here. So Guildford's going to go defensive again. We're going to try it down the outside, but again, he's going to go defensive. He's going to give us room on the outside. Top man there. We almost went out into the gravel, so we were using every single inch of the track. Moving ahead to lap number 5 here, an opportunity is going to arise for us here. Guildford up in front gets himself a penalty, and then up ahead the 2 drivers in front are going to come into the pits. So we're going to be up here to 7th at this point, and we just really need to stay with him until we get near the gate. I mean, we've lost a bit of time, as you can see there. He has flown out up in front. There's a bit of a gap now of almost a second, but we're at the point now where he's going to serve his penalty. So you can see here he's lost a bunch of time. He's ghosted, then he unghosts. I'm going to move to the inside. He then covers it off. Double move perhaps? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to brake a little bit early. Try to cut back underneath to get clear by the next corner. That's something I haven't been able to do previously. And on the 4th attempt, I finally clear him. Finally up to 6th place. Great clean battle though that. Appreciate that, James. Great work. Now at the end of the lap, he's going to come off his hards back there, and at the end of this lap, it's time for us to come in. I need to get off these mediums and get the hards on because they're beginning to feel a little bit second hand. So no fuel, remember. And we're going to come out up the long pit exit here, turn right onto the track up the hill. So with these cars, the gearing's a bit off, so it feels a bit sluggish as you exit. And we're going to come out in 9th place. Right in front of the fellow Brit, got max power. But he's going to get dispatched pretty quickly by Consta, and on the next lap, Consta wants a bit of us. So he's one of the guys who went from hards and into mediums. So I'm just not going to fight into turn number 2. We're down to 10th, but we're up and alongside again after getting a better run out of turn number 2 and down towards turn number 3. But we're not in the same race, and if I battle, it will just lose us time and potentially make us fall into the clutches of the Brits behind. So I just get out of the throttle there and let him through. He realises and acknowledges by putting on his hazards. Lots of decent racecraft going on today. So lap 11 then, and letting him pass was clearly the right thing to do, as he's left us in the dust and put a move onto the Brit up ahead into turn number 2. Now we can't forget at this point that the Brit is right behind us still, and thoughts are going to move to consolidating this pace now and bringing home the driver rating points. That is, well, to be honest, is our ultimate goal here, as I mentioned at the start of the video, because we could come under attack very, very soon, which is actually what's going to happen here on lap 12. As anticipated, the Brit gets a run behind. It was critical though for me to go defensive into turn number 2 if we wanted to hold on to this position. We've taken a tighter line, so we need to concentrate on the exit as he will have the cutback. But I get the car straightened up, back on the power, and we do enough to keep hold of 10th place for now. As we come down into turn number 3 here, it looks, as you can see on the radar, that we'd just done enough, and we were far enough away for him not to think about a move. And moving on then onto the final lap, we were anticipating another attack, but as we look back, the Brit got himself a penalty, which eases the pressure, and we are safe. And we're going to come across the line to take, as you can see, a very happy top 10 finish for us. Zavicic and Fire up front in this one, and a great job to our Team Rock teammate Basic Ollie in 3rd there. Key was down in 14th. That just goes to show how quick this lobby was. So attention turns now to race number 2. Still loads of quick drivers here, as you can see, and Key has actually changed to his proper account, showing that we need to take this pretty seriously. No first to last happening in this one. So in this one I decided to try something a little bit different. I flipped the strat and we're going to go the other way round in this one. We're going to go hards first and then move to the mediums. And the harder compound is slower through the corners obviously than the mediums, but then you're going to gain the time back as long as you're in the slipstream on these long straights here at the Red Bull Ring. So if I can hang on to the cars in front, we'll be in a good position to go on the offensive in the second phase of the race. So starting in 8th this time, Max Power is behind us once again, and up in front there are some shenanigans, and Dapline has run wide. So you can see he's side by side here with Dilster, and there's going to be some fun going into turn number 2. So we're just going to sit here and see what we can pick up. Coming into turn number 3 then, Dilster, as a result of the issues at turn number 2, gets the move done. I'm going to have a run down the inside myself, which of course then becomes the outside for turn number 4. But Dapline pulls out very politely and very safely. Cheers, buddy. And as a result, we're up to 7th place. Fast forwarding slightly here as we cross the line to start lap number 2. Coming into turn number 1, I'm going to get a little bit of oversteer under braking, meaning I cannot take the apex. Such a tricky corner, that one, to get it right absolutely every time, which, as you can see on the radar, has allowed Dapline up and alongside. Now, I'm not wanting to give up this position. We're in the defending stage of the race here, and I'm going to hang it round the outside, which allows us to carry more speed, and then we can get it straightened up ASAP and then on the power, which allows us to hold onto the position. Another clean encounter with Dapline and more good racecraft on show by all. Good stuff. So with the different strategy, we're going to be here on a longer stint for this first one. We're going to be going all the way up to lap number 6 and then coming in onto the softs, meaning we're hopefully faster, which is why I'm doing all this defending, limiting damage, and then we'll attack in the second phase. And jumping ahead slightly here, you can see there up in the distance that the fellow Brit gives himself a pen. And what that's going to do is bring us right up close by the time we get to turn number 2. Now, he's going to serve his penalty here. Dilster's got past him. Just keep an eye on him as he goes through the gates here. We're going to be closing on him here, and we're going to think about a move into turn number 3. But being on the hards and this being a downhill braking zone, we think better of it. I just didn't want to lob it into a big downhill braking zone on the harder compound, and we just wanted to live to fight another day. Our patience is rewarded, as because on the very next lap he's going to run wide through turn number 1, and I'm going to get myself a run. But then I get a penalty myself. I didn't think I'd exceeded track limits, but okay, it is what it is. It's only a half-second penalty one, so not the end of the world. We're going to come into turn number 2 side by side here. He's going to miss and overshoot the corner, sliding into me again. Not ideal, but again, not the end of the world. We're going to stay on the outside here to serve my penalty, getting right out of everybody's way. We're down to 9th. Now look behind us. We have Igor Fraga behind me, just going to show these lobbies and the absolute strength of them. They're just mega. I told you. They're without a doubt my favourite time to race during the week. And at the end of the lap, people started to come in, including Fraga, which brings us up to 7th place now. We're going to be coming in here at the end of lap number 6. So as we negotiate the pit entrance here, just being careful of the grass, we're going to get onto our mediums, and it's going to be interesting to see where we come out. And as we emerge from the pits, it's clear we're going to come out in just about 11th place. Unfortunately, the group up in front, including Igor Fraga, undercut us. We just get overtaken here, but not for long. He's got a penalty, but we're going to go for it anyway. I brake real late here, just about keeping it on the black stuff. Went a little bit deep, hopefully not too bad. Just have to be careful on the throttle because we were sat on that sausage curb, which allows him back underneath, but then we're back past as he serves his penalty. You can see up in front there, there's a group of 3 cars up ahead, so we're going to try and get our head down here and get after them. As we cross the line to start lap number 9 here, the pack has slightly split up, and we've got the guy from the Netherlands up in front. So we've done well here to this point to get right behind him, and you can see the difference in tyre compounds. We're sat behind him in the slipstream, making our way up the hill towards turn number 2. So in a textbook move here, we're going to sit in the slipstream, pull out, pick our braking point, get it stopped and make the apex. So now we're up to 9th place. There's a group of those 3 up ahead now. It's a different 3, but it's still 3, so it's time to get my head down here and see what we can do about them. And by the time we get to turn number 2 on the very next lap, we are on the back of them. You can see there's 2 Brits up in front, one of which is our Team Rock teammate, once again Basic Ollie, so we're doing well to hold on to him. Now as we come down into turn number 3, I make a mistake. I brake far too late in my haste, and there is going to be contact. I almost lose it on the outside, but just about managed to hold on to it, as you can see, but of course I get a deserved penalty. So apologies my friend, Captain JJ there, completely unintentional. And I'm glad that he didn't get any issues or get any penalties from it or anything like that. So as we come through the S's, I'm going to pull to the right hand side to serve my penalty. Look behind here as I almost lose 9th place. Luckily though, I hold on to it. If I was to serve my penalty at either of the other gates, the consequences would have been far worse and I would have lost far more time for sure. Catching up then to the back of the Brit, he's going to get himself a penalty. I think he went too much to the right at one of those points through the S's, which is going to make our life much easier. It saves us having a battle and it will allow us to just get past. So as we come here starting the final lap, we're going to stay on board, as I think this has been a pretty good pair of races. I mean, this one hasn't quite panned out the way that we wanted to, but it looks like if we can keep it on the black stuff and avoid getting any penalties, that we're at least going to go up to 8th place, which is no mean feat given the standard of the drivers in this lobby. So we're going to come down here into turn number 2 for the final time, get it stopped, hit the apex, get this thing straightened up and get on the throttle as soon as possible. JJ there is going to serve his penalty. He's going to sit behind our slipstream to see if he can get anything from it, but it's going to be no use. We're clear by the time we come down into turn number 3. Now, we've had 2 good results here. We're pretty much going to finish with this one. So unless anything major happens, we've got 8th in the bank. And we could have got more out of this race, but that's just racing. Not everything is going to be perfect. And of course, this was filmed before the penalty change. So hopefully they would have fixed them now. But I anticipate they probably just turn them off. That's what previous form would suggest. And then what they're going to do is they will turn them back up, and then it will be too much, and the porridge, too hot, too cold thing will happen until Gran Turismo 7 comes out next year. So we're going to come across the line here to pick up our 8th place. I also actually did a few races after this one on my birthday live stream, and a massive thank you to everybody who joined that. And as a result of those, as my 8th place is confirmed, we actually are now sitting at 58,142 drive racing points. Only 4,000 off my best ever score, so not bad at all. Things are looking good for the start of the new FIA season. That's exactly what we wanted. And for now guys, until then, this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do hit that like button and remember to make sure that you're subscribed if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching guys, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.